Okay, let's unpack this. Lainey style, high school student, seems like a pretty normal life.
Right, on the surface.
Then boom, everything just goes sideways.
Yeah.
A whole series of, well, really strange events.
Yeah, things that just don't add up.
We've got some great sources for this deep dive. A YouTube review of Keeper by Kim Chance, plus excerpts from Keeper itself and the sequel, Seeker.
So plenty to dig into.
Our mission basically is to follow these clues, navigate the sources, and try to figure out this mystery that Lainey's suddenly dropped into.
And what's fascinating is how it starts. It's not like one big explosion.
No, it's gradual.
It's these small, unsettling things that just keep happening, piling up.
Exactly. Like it kicks off almost casually. She calls a stranger babe just to get out of talking to someone.
A quick move.
But then she feels this weird sense of familiarity, almost comfort from him.
Yeah.
A whole stranger.
Strange, right. Then, soon after, she sees an injured woman.
Who then just vanishes. Like, poof, gone.
No explanation, nothing.
And then comes a panic attack, which is bad enough. But there's this calm inner voice talking, trying to soothe her.
That contrast is key, isn't it? The external panic, the internal calm.
Yeah, it's like her mind split. Is it just stress or something more?
That's the question, isn't it? That duality suggests something operating, beneath the surface, maybe something fundamental to who she is.
Right. So naturally, she tries talking to her best friend, Maggie. You would, wouldn't you?
Of course. Got to process it somehow.
But how do you even explain it? Yeah, this woman disappeared, and there's a voice in my head.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
But Maggie, she's a good friend. Doesn't just write her off.
No, she actually suggests thinking less, logically.
Even brings up comic books and says maybe she should talk to her uncle's girlfriend, Serena.
The one Lainey thinks is kind of, oh, no.
Off her rocker. Lainey's reaction is basically, no way.
Which really shows where Lainey's head is at initially. Total resistance to anything non-rational.
Yeah, that skepticism is interesting. It's a classic starting point, right? Clinging to normal.
Definitely. It makes her eventual acceptance, much more impactful. Why do you think the author sets it up like that?
Good point. It grounds her before things get really weird. And speaking of normal problems, she's also stressing about missing her SATs.
Oh man, talk about bad timing. Real life crashing into the world. Unreal.
Totally. Then she sees something else weird at a train crossing, making her doubt her own eyes.
Understandably.
Plus, a stinging handprint just appears on her arm, out of nowhere.
See, that's tangible, physical.
Right. And another weird encounter on a busy sidewalk. It's not just in her head anymore.
These physical things, the handprint, the vanished woman, they shift the whole thing. It's not just psychological. External forces are definitely involved now.
And here's where things start to connect, baby. She steps into an alley fight and gets this intense feeling. She knows one of the guys, the one in gray from the comic book store earlier.
Deja vu.
Then they have this awkward run-in later at a place called Anti-Marmalade.
The connection keeps popping up.
And she lies to her Uncle Gareth about the handprint, blames Maggie.
Ooh, that's telling. She knows deep down this isn't normal, hiding it.
Totally. Plus, nightmares, these weird black spots in her vision.
It keeps escalating.
And she starts wearing this jacket, Ty's jacket, for comfort. What's that about?
Well, the boy from the comic store keeps showing up, right? Maybe he's connected. And the jacket, maybe it's a subconscious pull towards him, towards someone who might actually get what's happening.
Subtle clues.
Yeah, little breadcrumbs for us.
And Ty seems to notice, too. Makes a comment about her wearing his jacket in English class. Like he knows.
Ooh, interesting.
Then bam, this incredibly vivid, really disturbing vision hits her.
What is it?
A woman being attacked. And her father yelling at someone named Joe to run.
Joe. Okay. A flashback. A memory that's not hers.
Feels like it. Like a glimpse into the past. But how does it connect to Lainey?
That vision feels important. It brings in this whole other narrative thread, maybe a historical layer to every. Joe could be a key.
And finally, after all this, she just breaks down a little, admits to Ty, I'm not fine.
That's a turning point, maybe, a crack in that resistance. And confiding in him specifically, maybe she senses he understands, or could.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Maggie's not just sitting around, she's doing her own digging.
Good old man.
Mentions she has info on Lainey's mystery man from a personal file, which sounds intense.
Yeah, a bit dramatic, but shows Maggie's taking it seriously in her own way. Practical approach.
And Lainey's researching Supermoon, trying to find a rational explanation, maybe.
Both trying to ground it, right, find logic. But then Josephine reappears.
Ugh, yeah, the injured woman, just standing there staring at Lainey.
Super creepy. Definitely pushing past any rational explanation now.
Totally, because now the supernatural stuff really starts coming out. We find out Josephine was desperately trying to protect this book.
A book?
Yeah, contains her family's heritage, their magic.
Magic. Okay, so it's confirmed. Magic is real in this world.
And Josephine is terrified, seeking comfort from someone called Henry.
Right.
Then Lainey has another encounter, like she steps into Josephine's shoes almost, sees her hiding from attackers.
A vision.
Feels like it. Sees Josephine found by her lover, or maybe husband. They're planning something related to the supermoon, but they get interrupted.
So there's a definite threat. Attackers.
Right.
Link to the magic, to the book. Josephine's fear makes sense.
And the danger ramps up. Lainey and Maggie go to a cemetery, because of course they do.
Always a cemetery.
Foggy, spoopy, the whole deal. Lainey hears Josephine's voice again.
Okay.
Then get the vine. Animate vines attack Lainey.
Whoa, like actually attack her.
Physically grab her.
Yeah.
But someone rescues her. Someone with warm hands.
Let me guess.
Ty. Of course it's Ty. He just keeps showing up.
He's definitely involved somehow. Protector, maybe.
Seems like it. And then Josephine gets hit with a flashback vision, this really nasty master character threatening her and Henry.
The Master. Sounds like our main villain.
Yeah. And it ends with the master killing Henry. Brutal. Gives us a glimpse of who they're up against.
So, animate vine. A master killing people. We've moved way beyond subtle weirdness now. Ty's rescue. The Master. Reveal big plot points.
And things keep changing for Lainey physically. She notices her eyes are changing color.
Oh, like actually changing.
Yeah, so she asked Ty about it. Understandable question, right?
Definitely. Classic sign of magical awakening in fantasy, isn't it? Something internal manifesting externally.
They end up at this quirky secondhand bookstore. Too good to be true.
Great name.
And guess who works there as a spiritual advisor?
No, Serena.
Yep, the woman Lainey thought was nuts.
Okay, so Serena's more clued in than Lainey realized.
Seems like it. Lainey's still hesitant to talk to her Uncle Gareth, though, but Serena gives her this cryptic warning.
What kind of warning?
Doesn't say exactly, but tells her she needs to talk to Gareth.
Okay, so Serena knows Gareth knows something, or it is something. This strongly suggests Gareth is...
And then, the moment of truth. Lainey wakes up, feels different. There's a rosebud in her room.
Yeah.
And it just bloomed instantly, responding to her emotions.
Whoa. Okay. Undeniable now.
She realizes, I'm a witch. It just clicks.
Powerful moment. Confirmation.
And at the same time, Gareth has all these missed calls. Pretty clear Serena spilled the beans.
The secret's out. Or about to be.
We also get more on Ty being protective. Lainey remembers him shielding her during that vine attack.
Right, putting himself between her and danger.
Then she goes to Gareth's house.
Yeah?
And sees, wait for it, a bookshelf just floating in midair.
Okay, yeah. Hard to explain that away.
Exactly. Gareth can't hide it anymore. He finally tells her everything.
The big reveal.
You're a witch, Lainey, as a fairy.
A fairy. Okay, that explains a lot. His secrecy, maybe some other subtle things.
He says he kept it secret to give her a normal life, which, backfired spectacularly.
Understatement of the year.
He mentions the Grimoire, that magic book Josephine had, and confirms the master wants it.
The main antagonist, the MacGuffin.
Got it. And the worst part, Gareth confirms the master killed Lainey's mother because she was the keeper of the Grimoire.
Wow, devastating. So it's personal. Deeply personal.
He also mentions something called the continuance, a warning from the Fae. What is that?
The continuance. Sounds like some kind of fairy law or prophecy. Something setting rules or predicting events. Adds lore, mythology. Definitely something to watch out for.
So massive info dump for Lainey. She's reeling. Understandably, she runs.
Where does she?
Back to the train track. Her place for freaking out, apparently.
Seems like it.
Encounters a couple of guys there.
Yeah.
Feels threatened. And then unconsciously stops the train.
Stops the train with her mind.
Seems like it. Her magic is just bursting out uncontrolled.
Wow. Raw power.
Ty and Maggie find her. Gareth called Maggie. Maggie texted Ty. Network's working.
Good support system.
Then she and Ty have this really intense kiss. And it triggers something in her, this weird sensation. And he says, I knew it was you.
Cryptic. Knew what was her.
Right. And just then, a storm kicks up out of nowhere.
Okay.
Ty suggests Lainey is causing it, and she kind of just stops it without meaning to.
Whoa. So the kiss, the connection, amplified her power. And she has some control, even if she doesn't realize it.
So it's like this whole sequence forces her hand. She has to start accepting this is real. And her bond with Ty definitely tied up with her magic.
Yeah, that kiss and his words suggest some kind of destiny or recognition between them. Getting complicated.
So she goes home, confronts Gareth, understandably angry about the years of lies.
As you would be.
He explains more about the master hunting supernaturals for ages, internal politics, and divisions among them.
So it's a whole hidden world with its own history and conflicts, not just one bad guy.
Exactly. And the master needs the grimoire because his own dark magic is apparently fading, getting weaker.
Motivation. Okay.
Then Lainey starts getting these intense visions, directly from the grimoire, it seems.
From the book itself.
Yeah. Sees past keepers, like someone named Lily, sees their fights against the master.
Wow. So the grimoire isn't just spells, it's a history book, a window.
Apparently, past, present, future. It shows her the lineage, the danger.
That's huge, both power and knowledge.
She comes out of these visions totally shaken.
Yeah.
but it solidifies her resolve. She tells Gareth, okay, let's do this. Train me.
She's stepping up, accepting the mantle. That's a big shift from running away.
But learning magic, not exactly like acing a pop quiz.
Probably not.
We see her struggling, like in the school cafeteria, trying to control stuff and failing. It's relatable, kinda. Teenage life meets immense power.
Good grounding. Keeps it real amidst the magic.
Maggie's still her rock, though, always there. And Ty offers them a ride home again, still watching out.
Consistent protector.
Then Gareth drops another warning. Scavengers.
Scavengers, what are they?
People or beings who can track magic use, so any little slip-up could bring danger.
Raises the stake, constant threat of being found.
And sure enough, Lainey accidentally makes the lights flicker at Maggie's. Proof she's got zero control yet.
Oof. Dangerous.
She's so nervous about an actual date with Ty that she uses her wonky magic as an excuse to make Maggie come along.
Haha. Okay, that's kind of funny. Using unstable magic as a third wheel excuse. Blend of supernatural and typical teen awkwardness.
Totally. Then comes the fall festival. Should be normal. Fun.
But probably won't be.
Ty gives Lainey a compliment, a nice little moment, but then his Praetorian senses start tingling.
Praetorian senses. What does the YouTube review say about that?
And mentions Praetorians are like an ancient order, sworn protectors of magical bloodlines, enhanced senses, combat skills.
Okay. So Ty's got some kind of built-in danger alarm. Fits the protector role.
Fits perfectly. Because suddenly, screams, an orange glow. The corn maze is on fire.
Oh no, and Maggie.
Maggie's in there.
Oh God.
Lainey instinctively tries to use magic to help, but Josephine appears again. Spectral Josephine.
With a warning.
Yeah, scavengers.
They were drawn by the magic, maybe the fire.
Seems likely. A fight breaks out. And Lainey sees Ty fight for real. He's skilled, really skilled.
Praetorian skills kicking in, more than just a cute boy with a jacket.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
They manage to escape, just barely. But Maggie, she gets bitten.
Bitten? By what? A scavenger?
Yeah. And Ty's first thought, his immediate reaction, is checking if Lainey's okay.
Wow. Even in chaos, his focus is her. That Praetorian programming, or maybe more. But Maggie being bitten, that's bad.
Yeah, the aftermath is rough. Lainey's drowning in guilt. Feels totally responsible.
Understandable. Her magic, the scavengers, it all led to this.
And Maggie's reaction to the bite. It's not normal healing. She's showing crazy strength, talking about wanting to be something more.
Oh no, lycanthropy, werewolf vibes.
Totally. The bite is changing her, fundamentally.
Man, that adds a whole new layer of complication and potential conflict. Poor Maggie. Poor Lainey.
The threat just keeps growing. Josephine shows up again, fully spectral now, like a guide.
Not just warnings anymore.
Comfort, too, but also warns about a big battle coming. Then she leads Lainey to a river and through a veil.
A veil. What's that signify in the source?
Seems like a barrier. Between realms, maybe? Living world, spirit world, supernatural plane, something like that.
A crossing over point.
Yeah. They end up back at the campsite, and Lainey, despite everything, feels this new determination. She's ready to face whatever's coming.
Accepting her destiny, the danger, everything. That passage through the veil feels symbolic, deeper immersion.
Now, Seeker switches things up. We get Ty's perspective.
Oh, interesting. See his side.
He's totally disoriented after some explosion at a gathering where he's sick about Lainey.
A gathering, like a meeting of supernaturals.
Seems like it. And he's seriously conflicted, torn about his loyalty, remembering his father's words about pain, choosing your path.
Heavy stuff. What's he conflicted about?
Well, he feels immense guilt about casualties at the gathering. People hurt or killed, apparently because of Lainey losing control of her magic.
Ouch. That's a burden for both of them.
He runs into someone named Zia, gets forced into some kind of training. It doesn't seem like he has much choice.
So he's caught up in something too, not fully autonomous.
But through it all, he still wants to protect Lainey, even knowing what we learn next.
Which is?
He is Praetorian, but he's bound to serve the master.
What? Bound to the main villain.
Yep. That flips everything we thought about him. His protectiveness towards Lainey is in direct conflict with his duty.
Whoa, okay. That explains the conflict. Massive dramatic irony. We know, but Lainey doesn't, presumably.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Lainey's training isn't going smoothly. She's clashing with Zaya's method, finds them frustrating.
Different approaches to magic, maybe? Or just personality clashes under pressure?
More supernaturals are showing up at this Hetacarian base camp. Whoever the Hetaria are, they're gathering forces.
Hetaria, maybe the resistance group?
Could be. And Zaya's plan, use Lainey as a weapon, basically, to impress potential allies and rally them to their side.
Pragmatic, maybe ruthless, using the keeper as leverage.
And Lainey learns something else. Her mom casts some kind of spell that affects Lainey's own magic.
Oh, like limits it, or it changes it.
Not totally clear, but it's another layer of complication about her power and heritage.
Her mom's influence continuing even after death.
And Ty. Oh, Ty. His internal struggle is intense. He does something pretty drastic.
Well, now.
He deliberately gets himself injured by a troll.
Hey, what? Why?
To manipulate Lainey, so she'll help him, feel sorry for him, and inadvertently give him access to the Heteria camp.
Wow, that's dark, calculated, morally very gray.
Totally. But you still sense his feelings for Lainey are real underneath the deception. He's playing such a dangerous game.
Walking a knife's edge between duty and desire, that makes him incredibly complex.
And tensions are rising inside the Heteria, too. Zia's clashing with someone named Teddy about the Master.
Why?
Because the Master is Teddy's son.
Get out. His own son.
Yeah. Talk about family drama fueling the supernatural war.
That adds a whole tragic dimension, fighting your own child.
Then, inevitably, Ty's deception is exposed. They figure out he manipulated his way in.
Oof. How does Lainey react?
Betrayed, hurt, devastated, as you'd expect.
Of course. That trust is shattered. Big consequences for their relationship and the Resistance's plans.
And all this time, Maggie's getting worse. The bite. It's taking its toll.
So no cure.
No. Lainey's frantic, desperate. She turns to the Grimoire again.
Uh-oh.
Tries this really dangerous spell to siphon the poison out of Maggie.
Reckless.
Extremely. She doesn't have the control, the knowledge, and she almost kills Maggie.
Oh my God. Trying to save her but nearly ends her. That's heartbreaking. A harsh lesson about power and control.
Definitely. But Zia, always the strategist, sees Ty's connection to the Master even after the deception as useful. Her plan: turn him into a double agent, send him back to the Master, feed him carefully selected info, but have him gather intelligence for the Heteria.
Risky. Using the enemy's own soldier against him.
So Ty goes back. Looks like a total traitor,
Yeah.
but he's secretly spying, playing both sides.
The stakes just keep getting higher for him. Espionage on top of everything else.
Lainey's an emotional wreck through all this. Guilt over Maggie, Ty's betrayal, wrestling with her powers, her identity.
Completely understandable. It's too much.
But then she has another vision, Gareth, in the afterlife.
Really? He can still reach her.
Seems so. He gives her advice. Talks about needing conduits for really powerful magic.
Conduits, like channel to handle the power.
Exactly. Even in death, he's trying to guide her.
That offers some hope and a potential solution, maybe.
Maybe. Following his advice, Lainey and another character, Oliver, go on a mission.
To find what?
A conduit. Someone strong enough to channel that siphoning spell safe to finally try and save Maggie.
Request. Okay. Dangerous, I assume.
They run into more hostile supernaturals, ones loyal to the Master. The threat is everywhere.
Constant danger. Emphasizes the urgency for Maggie.
It all builds to the final showdown. Huge battle. Master's forces versus the Heteria.
The climax.
Lainey's magic is way more powerful now. She's really fighting. The Master gets desperate, tries some dark ritual called blood reaping.
Blood reaping. Sounds ominous. Bad news.
For sure. But Ty intervenes.
To stop.
Yes. He jumps in, disrupts the ritual, sacrificing himself to protect Lainey.
He sacrifices himself.
Looks that way. And Maggie sees it happen, sees him go down, thinks he fully betrayed them. She's heartbroken.
Oh, man. So she sees the act, but not the intention behind it. Tragic misunderstanding.
But Lainey, in his final moments, Ty tells her the truth, reveals his real plan. His true loyalty was always to her.
He tells her, so she knows he wasn't a traitor in the end.
She knows. And then, the conduit. Lainey needs one to stop the Master for good.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
She makes the impossible choice. Uses Ty, the conduit Gareth spoke of.
Uses Ty's dying body.
Yes, to channel the power needed to defeat the Master. It works. The Master is gone. But Ty, he dies permanently.
Wow. That is devastating. Victory, but at the absolute highest personal cost for Lainey.
Exactly. Maggie's grieving the friend she thinks betrayed her. Another character, Raina, says something cryptic about the heart, suggesting the emotional fallout is far from over.
The wounds are deep. Victory doesn't erase the pain or the loss.
So, in the immediate aftermath, Lainey's grieving, obviously. But she accepts her role. She is the keeper.
Embracing her destiny despite the cost.
And Maggie is chained. The lichen bite, the trauma.
Yeah.
She's on her own path now, unclear where it leads.
Her own journey starts now, maybe.
And Lainey, carrying all this weight, steps through the veil again, ready for whatever comes next.
A return, but transformed.
She comes back to a new day, changed forever.
Wow, what a journey.
So wrapping up this deep dive, we followed Lainey through this absolutely whirlwind discovery of magic, facing down terrifying enemies, making choices that, well, they cost everything.
Yeah, the themes really hit hard, don't they? Identity, what you're willing to sacrifice, whether destiny is fixed. It's all in there.
And the characters are so complex. Lainey's growth, Ty's whole arc, his final sacrifice is just, wow.
Absolutely. It's not just good versus evil. It's about the gray areas, the impossible choices people face in conflict.
You've been with us digging into Keeper and Seeker, and hopefully we've shed some light on the mystery, the magic, the heartache, in Lainey's world.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. When your destiny seems laid out, demanding immense sacrifice, how much room is there really for choice, for agents? Think about Lainey, Ty, Maggie, the paths they took, forced or chosen. What does it really mean to accept your fate?
Yeah, that's a heavy one. And honestly, this dive is just scratching the surface of these books. There's so much more depth, more nuance in the sources themselves.
Definitely worth checking out if this caught your interest.
Perhaps Lainey's journey isn't quite over for you yet. Maybe time to pick up the book.